Hello, welcome back to my workshop. I hope you're all feeling great. Today I'm going to be making an accessory for my Workmate and my MFT workbench, but it'll actually work on any bench that's got dog holes to give me an extra pair of hands when using clamps. So let's get tinkering. This particular piece of wood is second hand and it's got a massive warp in it. Now I only want a couple of inches at most, so I'm going to hold it flat against the bed, and on the sliding table I'm going to add this wedge just to give it a little bit of support, so that now it'll stay flat against the table, the end that I'm cutting off, and that should solve that problem. You can see just how warped this piece of wood is on this corner here. It's the same with this one. For this project it doesn't really matter, so I might as well use this wood up. I'm going to start by cutting these blocks into 2 equal parts. I'm going to mark these parts about halfway. This is slightly under halfway. I'm just using the thickness of the rule as my guide. And I'll mark these blocks all the way around this thickness. Now, using my line as a guide, I'm going to cut 4 cuts down to the line. I'm now going to hog out what I've cut just by cutting a line down the middle. There are lots of ways you could hog these out. I chose to use the bandsaw. I did do one using a chisel, but the chisel was slightly wider than the gap that I had, so I had to go in at a slight angle, which wasn't ideal. I then tidied it up on the bandsaw. So I think the bandsaw is probably the way to go with these. 2 of the corners on each of these are rounded and 2 are sharp, so I'm just going to round these corners just for aesthetic reasons really, nothing else. Just going to mark the centre of these. Just going to draw a pilot hole in each of these blocks. Now, I didn't have any 20mm dowel, so I 3D printed these 20mm cylinders. They've got a hole all the way through for a screw, and the head is also recessed and fits in there nicely. I'll leave a link to this design if you've got a 3D printer and want to print some yourself. They're 18mm deep, so they'll be as deep as your Workmate or your MFT style table. I'm going to screw these on the end. If you've got 20mm dowel, then you could drill a small hole in this piece of wood and glue and screw the dowel in. But I'm just going to do it like this. These helping hands keep the clamps in position when you're clamping up boxes. The only thing I found with them is they don't support the base, and because of that I rebuilt them but a little bit taller, and with these the top of the jig also supports the base. The 20mm diameter dogs on the ends of each of the jigs holds them nice and steady in place in the 20mm dog holes on an MFT style workbench or a Workmate. The slots in the jig stop the clamps from moving about and hold them at the right height. The clamps are arranged so that the bottom clamps clamp against the edge of the base and the top clamps clamp the sides of the box to each other. Well, that's it for this video. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe because it really helps, and I'll see you on my next video. Thanks for watching.